I was driving around in the car for hours. I know other people think of drugs and stuff, but for me it was always the car. I went to the church first and it was closed. And I remember being really annoyed because the church was closed just when I wanted to go inside. I guess I wanted to get forgiven and that I needed to do that first. You sort of know it's wrong to kill yourself, but when I look back at it now, the same time as I wanted to get forgiven, I think I was trying to push God away, even though I know you can't. I was very confused. I drank half a bottle of whiskey before I went out. I was driving really fast, but I couldn't do it. I was fully ready, but I kept being held back. And it wasn't that I didn't have the nerve to do it. I wasn't afraid. It's just something held me back. But in the end, I just went home and drank the rest of the whiskey and I passed out. In reality, I only got this far once, but in my head, I got there a million times. You're probably wondering how I got to this point. Well, I was very confused and angry, and I was blaming everyone else. And I was so jealous of young people my own age, who I thought they had life so easy. They had all the material things that I wanted, but I could never have. And I was always minding my younger brothers, and because of that I wasn't allowed to socialise. I was almost always angry because of it. I was very lonely, but at the same time I think I isolated myself, and God was my only true friend. You see, I think I was afraid of people, and so I just kept away from them. I just figured it was safer to avoid them, especially having to open up with anyone. You see, when I was younger I was abused, and so my attitude was, people hurt you, so stay away from them. It was strange, because I could mix with people in the pub, but at the same time I knew I was keeping them a long way away from the real me. And I was never any good at talking or expressing myself or my feelings. I think that was part of the problem. I still have difficulty doing that, but I'm improving. You see, a few years back, a friend of mine who I was really close with, he killed himself. After that, I felt desperate and hopeless, and the only way out appeared to be death. I realise now that God was very strong for me at different points in my life. I think he kept me from death. He didn't want me to die. And I'm doing a college course now, and I really like it. I do have to work several jobs to pay my way, but, you know, I have something to look forward to and a sense of purpose. And I'm not as angry anymore. Even though people and situations are the same, I'm looking at things from a different perspective. And my boundaries have changed as well. I don't need to keep people so far away from me anymore. I was pretty nervous at first about seeing a counsellor. I thought if people found out they'd think I was mental, but it was the best thing I've ever done. You know, she was genuine, she really listened to me, and she was compassionate, and she didn't judge me in any way. I felt safe to go back to her again. And through her, I understood more about myself and my reactions, and I really started to feel good about myself, and I made better choices. If at any time you're thinking of ending your life, or you're struggling with pain or depression, I'd really recommend finding a counsellor. They can really be helpful. And talk to God. He wouldn't want you to kill yourself. He can really help you out. My feelings of pain have gone now, and I don't want to kill myself anymore, and I'm so glad I didn't do it. I have hope for the future and a purpose in life, and the same can be true for you too.